I think the interesting thing is, I think with any language is you're able to understand a lot more before you're able to speak. And so for me, I got to the point where I could understand what people were saying to me, but to respond was a lot harder.
Okay.
And like you want to respond because you know exactly what you want to say, but then maybe you can't think of exactly the conjugations or like how to structure the sentence. Like the grammar obviously is very different than English. You have like congiuntivo, for example. We don't do that. We don't have that. But also simple things, actually, just like the agreement between like nouns and adjectives and how it changes, like the endings, you know. Sometimes just the simple things like that, or like prepositions.
Siamo tornati con un nuovo episodio e abbiamo quest'oggi ospite con noi Shea Jordan.
Ciao.
Grazie per essere venuto, applausino, dai, diamo un po' di incoraggiamento che così si scioglie un po'. E allora, poi disclaimer, inquadrami Broy. Disclaimer, sarà in mix Ita-Ing, quindi poi metteremo i sub, quindi non vi preoccupate. Allora, iniziamo, let's start the conversation. So, what was like the idea of starting like a YouTube channel with like a, can we call it like a travel vlog channel? Okay.
Yeah. So I started my channel when I studied abroad in Rome.
Okay.
During university. And I originally made the videos just for friends and family back home. Like just because I wanted to document what I was doing when I was living abroad in Italy.
Okay.
So my family was watching my videos, my parents, my grandma. Like I was making my videos for them.
Okay.
And then when I came back, I realized, okay, some of my videos, other people are watching them. Like I had one video that got to like 1,000 views. So obviously I knew that more than just my family was watching these videos. And also I liked the process of making videos. So I decided that I just wanted to continue, even though I wasn't still in Italy. I started just making videos back when I was in Los Angeles about different things.
Okay. So you are from which part of the US?
Originally, I was born in Arizona.
Okay, Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay. Phoenix? No.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I basically know only Phoenix now.
Yeah,
so.
that's okay. Perfect.
Okay. So, you were born in Phoenix, and then you lived there your whole life, or you like move around?
So I mean, I mainly lived there.
Okay.
I did some other traveling. I actually lived for a few months in South Korea.
Wow.
And also Taiwan.
Wow.
And then Italy was during university. But that's when I already went to Los Angeles for university.
You went to LA to study. To study what?
Communications and cinema.
Okay. How was like moving from like Phoenix in the middle of America to like the LA, City of Angels? How was like the change of like scenery of lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to do in Los Angeles. Okay. Phoenix, after a while, I knew I wanted to leave because there's just not much to do there, and it's just super hot all the time.
Really?
But yeah, when I got to LA, it felt like there were just so many more opportunities and things to do and people to meet. Like there's a lot more people from all over the US, but all over the world too, in Los Angeles. So it was nice to be able to meet a lot of new people and have like a lot more opportunities.
Nice. And when do you so after Rome, you decided to come in Bologna, like to have like another experience in Italy? Why Bologna?
So I knew I wanted to come to Italy to learn the language.
Yeah.
And while I liked Rome, it felt just like way too touristy.
Okay.
Also very big, and I knew I wanted a smaller city, like an experience where I didn't feel like I was always just a tourist.
Yeah.
So I wanted to avoid Rome, Florence, like the bigger,
big cities,
like tourist. I mean, not that Florence is really big, but I mean more like touristy cities. And I actually had never been to Bologna before I decided to move here, which is really like, I was just hoping that I would like it because I had no idea if I would like it. But I heard a lot of really good things about Bologna. Also, because of the big university there, I knew that there would be a lot of other young people that hopefully I could make friends.
Very like young movement.
Exactly, because one of my concerns, obviously, when moving to a new country is not knowing anybody and not being able to make friends.
Yeah.
So moving to a place where there's a lot of young people like me, it would probably be easier to meet people, Italians, but also maybe like from other places in Europe, or also Americans, things like that.
And like, was it difficult at the beginning, like the language barrier?
Oh yeah.
Like, I really you struggle, I believe, a lot. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when I started school, I remember the first.
And the school was all in Italian.
Yeah. All in Italian.
Wow.
When I started school the first day, I came back to my apartment and I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, it was, your brain gets so tired, like the mental fatigue of just having to live your life in a new language is just like, it's so hard.
Difficile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Crazy. And so now, so you're in Bologna, like studying, you said?
Yeah.
Studying what? Sorry.
So I came just to study Italian. I go to because I don't attend the university. I go specifically to an Italian language school.
Okay. And for what I see, like in Bologna, there are a lot like of Americans. Very like because I work in the pharmacy, so like I see a lot of people from like all over America. I saw like people from like Indiana, like people from I don't know Alaska. Yeah. Also. People from like all kind of states, they're just like coming and visiting Bologna, just like that. It's great. There's a very I don't know, a big movement of like foreigners, of American citizens. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say recently, Bologna is becoming more popular with Americans. Whereas, a few years ago, for example, when I studied in Rome, my friends there, Bologna was not on anyone's list, like of a place to go to. Yeah. I was not that familiar with Bologna. I mean, I knew it existed, but it wasn't like as popular, I would say. But more recently, if I see like, I don't know, TikTok videos or blogs, I see so many people recommending Bologna now that I think it's really just like, now it's really becoming a spot.
It's popping.
Yeah. Scusa, parlo in italiano.
Ok.
Poi al massimo John.
Sì, vai sereno.
E di americani che vivono a Bologna ce ne sono tanti? Che proprio vivono stabilmente, lo sai?
Secondo me no. Okay. Perché sì, ho alcuni amici, ma non so. Per esempio, le persone che conosco da scuola, per esempio, a volte ci sono le persone che vengono dagli Stati Uniti, ma non per vivere lì a Bologna, solo per 2 o 3 settimane. Ho un'amica che adesso vive a Bologna. Prima lei ha vissuto a Roma per 2 o 3 anni e lei è americana di Oklahoma. Sì, ma
Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. My favorite team, Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah. E quindi, no? When did you realize that maybe your videos that you were making, like, because I saw that you have like millions of views on some videos. Yeah. So which was the first one that made like 1 million views?
So the first one actually was a video that I made about learning Italian. Okay. I had seen a video from another creator who I really like. His name is Nathaniel Drew.
Ooh, yeah, I follow him. Okay. Oh, yes, okay. I knew. I saw his video of him going to the Francescana in Modena. He described all out the planning before, and he makes a lot of videos how to learn new languages in easy ways. Yeah, exactly. He learned like many languages. It's crazy. Bravo.
Yeah, so I saw one of his videos and it was about learning Italian. He like did this challenge where he tried to see how much Italian he could learn in like 7 days, something crazy like that. But it was really inspiring to me because I also knew at this point I wanted to go back to Italy, and before I did that I wanted to at least study a little bit of Italian. So I did something similar where I did a challenge for 1 month of studying Italian. I made that video, but it didn't like go viral right away.
Okay.
Actually, I had posted it, and then it was like a few months later, I started checking the like analytics of the video, and I got this notification that it was all of a sudden like my views were just super high, and so that video just like took off. And then once I saw that, and it got to, I think it's over 1 million views. It's like 1.5 or something. I mean, it's insane. I still get people commenting on it.
It's crazy.
I didn't know how to.
But do you like run some ads or just
no?
organically?
I didn't do any sort. I don't do any sort of ads. So I think it was just like,
wow,
something happened with the algorithm that it really just took off. And then once I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe people want to watch me learn Italian. So maybe I should make more videos like this.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, sometimes the algorithm is crazy.
Yeah,
you
never know.
Just put it out and boom, it blooms. And so, what are like the more difficult steps in learning Italian?
Oh.
In your experience?
Yeah. I think the interesting thing is, I think with any language is you're able to understand a lot more before you're able to speak. And so for me, I got to the point where I could understand what people were saying to me, but to respond was a lot harder.
Okay.
And like you want to respond because you know exactly what you want to say, but then maybe you can't think of exactly the conjugations or like how to structure the sentence. Like the grammar obviously is very different than English. You have like congiuntivo, for example. We don't do that. We don't have that. But also simple things, actually, just like the agreement between like nouns and adjectives and how it changes, like the endings, you know. Sometimes just the simple things like that, or like prepositions. I mix those up all the time, which like if I'm talking to an Italian, they will understand even though I make mistakes. But I'm also very hard on myself. Like I hate making mistakes. And sometimes I make the mistake of not just trying, even though I know it won't be perfect. That's my thing of like, I should just at least speak and try, even though of course there are going to be mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And so, if you like, aspetta, dico in italiano che non so dirlo in inglese. Se dovresti indicare a qualcuno i passaggi per imparare italiano, if you like to someone else explain like the steps to make to learn Italian, what would you recommend to
I get this question a lot, like on my YouTube channel. People are always like, okay, where do I start?
Exactly,
like, right
this
from
one.
the beginning. I don't know that there's specifically like one way you should do it. I would say just try to keep it as simple as possible.
And also in addition, what was your way of like learning?
I really like to be organized and I really like a structure. So I would recommend like getting some sort of grammar book just to help you kind of give you like a roadmap. But some people I think make the mistakes of like, okay, I want to learn a new language. I'm going to buy a ton of books. But it's almost too overwhelming if you have too many things that you're trying to do. So I think choosing, first off, just like one grammar book in general to help you. One thing that was really helpful for me that I actually learned from Nathaniel Drew was looking up the 1,000 most common words.
The words, I saw this thing.
Languages use, like if you know the 1,000 common words, I think it's like you can understand kind of at least 80% of like the spoken language, because
it's true.
There are certain languages or most languages that use these most common words, and so once you at least know those, you can kind of like start putting the other pieces together. So doing that, and with that you just do flashcards or however you like to learn vocabulary. Then for me it was just like forming very, very simple sentences. Also listening a lot, like listening to music, watching like children's television, because if you try to watch, like if I tried to watch an Italian show,
no, it's impossible. You can't follow you can't do the speed of like the language also.
Exactly. And so sometimes people try too early on to like jump into things, or like reading a book or something. You have to start, basically what I say in a lot of my videos is you have to start like you're a child learning language.
For sure.
So if you're reading, I read a lot of like children's books or watched children's shows, because that's when you acquire a language. So you have to start like that. Yeah.
And like on a scale from 1 to 10, where do you put yourself in learning Italian right now?
like 10 being the
10,
best.
10 is like fluent or like.
Oh no, I'm not a 10. I don't know. I'm really hard on myself. I would say like a 6.
No, dai, 7, dai.
Okay, 7.
Okay. And so, American citizen in Italy. What was like the first like difference you saw like of living in Italy compared to like living in LA or maybe Phoenix?
The lifestyle is definitely like more slow, chill, tranquila. Like it's because one thing I noticed when my life changed a lot living in LA or just anywhere in the US in general, everyone is so focused on like work, money. Like everything it feels very rushed all the time. And I feel like a lot of people don't make enough time to spend time with their friends or their family. Like here, for example, if you have meals with friends, like you have a long time. You have like long lunches, long dinners. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I talk with Italians here and I tell them how, like at my office, for example, when I worked at an agency in LA, a lot of people just quickly eat lunch at their desk and like that's their lunch break because people are just so focused on work. So I just like how I feel like here there's more of a balance of being able to enjoy life and live a little bit slower instead of constantly rushing and only focusing on work.
Because maybe also the idea of like eating together, like in the same table, for like us, it's like the normality. It's like normal, you know.
Exactly.
We sit, we talk, we like chat, to stay maybe 1 or 2 hours. I believe that in maybe some parts of America is like it's not that common.
Yeah. I also feel like we don't have, I mean, I'm sure there are some people who are a lot closer with their families, but I feel like we don't have the same idea of like the family closeness. Like, like you said, eating meals with your family or like on the weekends doing Sunday lunch or whatever. We don't really do that. I feel like everyone in at least my family and a lot of my friends' families kind of just do their own thing. Or a lot of my friends, for example, for university, they go away. Like my sister went to New York for university and, you know, I was in California. Like we were all over the place. And that's very normal for us, where I feel like here in Italy, it seems like families stay together a lot more.
Yeah, it depends obviously, but it's more like family centric. I don't know. Like there are also like maybe like you said, like lunch on Sunday, also maybe having dinner all together, or usually also during like weekdays, you know. You just wait for each other to eat together. It's different. And also in what is your experience with Italian food? Like I don't know, because in America they have like this idea.
Oh yeah.
This some type of that we spoke about in a different episode. This like Italian dishes, like the serving in America, like fettuccine Alfredo. Let's forget about it. And also all the kinds of bolognese that they do in America. Yeah. So what was your perspective of coming in Italy and tasting like the real Italian food compared to the one in the US?
I mean, I love it. Like I don't think I've tasted anything that I really hate. I especially the pizza, for example. Our pizza in America is so different. Also the fact that in the US, for example, if we order a pizza, it's not like here where everyone gets their own. Like you order one pizza and you share it with like 3 people. Yes. And it's so funny because Italians think that's so weird. But for us, when I first came here and everyone was ordering their own pizza, I was like, you eat one whole pizza basically,
I also spoke a time with a girl from Minneapolis. She said the exact same thing, that a pizza is too much for one person.
Yeah.
How? Like the same pizza.
Yeah. But the our ingredients are not good. For example, like the bread and everything is just so much heavier.
Oh, okay.
So if you only eat 2 or 3 slices, you're done. Yeah. So I think it's also just the ingredients themselves that make it difficult to eat a whole pizza. But I mean, I feel like the food here, the ingredients here, everything to me tastes better too. And it is interesting how our Italian American food. I don't know how we got to like fettuccine Alfredo. I have no idea where that came from, but it's really funny because sometimes, especially when I studied abroad in Rome, like we would go to restaurants with some of the other people because I studied with all other Americans. Yeah, and it's just so interesting how some of them just had no idea that you couldn't walk into a restaurant and be like, okay, I want the fettuccine Alfredo. Or like we also have like chicken, we call chicken parmesan. I don't know if you've heard of it. I
heard it. I never.
Yeah, it's like chicken, not necessarily like fried chicken, but it has like the sauce and like cheese on. I don't know. I have no idea where it came from, but I remember a girl on my study abroad trip who asked for chicken parmesan in a restaurant, and the waiter was like, "What the?"
Because
yeah, it was so bad. So
it's crazy because also like there was like this interview of this like American NBA player that said that the Italian food in America is better than the Italian one in Italy. I don't know. I don't know why. Because Italian food is so dry. The American version is better. I don't know. Perspectives.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I would not say the same.
Definitely not. Yeah. And so you made your the video made 1 million. Then you made another one, and it did like the same numbers, or the second the video following the one that made 1 million, or was it?
No, honestly, it varies. Like, I still can't fully understand the YouTube algorithm and like what people want to watch. I would say it really depends, because sometimes I will make a video. I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten another video to 1 million views, but there's definitely some within like the 100,000s. And again, it's truly random because I try to choose different language learning topics, and I guess it just depends on like what people are struggling with themselves or what they want to know about learning Italian, or also just like sometimes I try to make it about language learning in general, so it can, you know, appeal to more people. But yeah, honestly, I never know when I post a video. Oftentimes I think this video is probably not going to perform very well, but who knows, we'll see. And then it does. Like, I really don't know sometimes when I post a video how it'll
it's like random.
Yeah,
we don't
the
know.
first one I didn't expect to get
and
1 million.
So in terms like what I want to know is like when you make like 1 million views on a video, YouTube pays you, so you got like a check from YouTube.
Yeah, so YouTube has like a advertising, it's called like AdSense. So I mean, honestly, it really varies because there's so many things that go into it. But yes, every month actually you get a paycheck if you meet a certain there's like a requirement. They actually recently just changed it. It used to be you had to have like at least 1,000 subscribers, a certain amount of watch hours, and something else, and now I think they've lowered it to like 500 subscribers, or it's been very recent. But then you can apply to be a part of that program, and then every month you get paid.
So basically right now you're getting paid from YouTube.
Yes.
Wow, crazy. wow.
But honestly, like the advertising doesn't make as much as like if you get sponsorships.
Okay.
So that's another thing of if you have a certain amount of views but also subscribers, then companies obviously will want to work with you. Definitely. So I've done some videos partnering with like language learning apps or programs, and then that is mainly where I think like the bigger YouTubers, the sponsorships for them money, are like making them a ton of money.
Or like these big brands that want to like associate with you. Yeah, definitely. And if you had any like, I don't know, negative experience in Bologna, or maybe in Italy in general, if you had, I don't know, if you saw like, I don't know, something, I don't know, in your experience in Bologna, you've been here for like how many months?
1 year.
1 year. Yeah. Oh, tanto. Tanto. Have you ever had like any like bad experience, or maybe you?
In Bologna, no. Luckily,
okay.
Rome, yeah.
Scammed. Rome.
Yeah. No, just more in the sense of like men catcalling you, or just saying things that make me feel super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it's very interesting. A lot of people ask me if I feel safe here in Bologna, yes. Like, even if maybe I know, like, you know, you shouldn't walk home late at night by yourself. But even if I do in the center, I never feel unsafe. I've never had a feeling where, oh my gosh, this person is following me or like, but in Rome, yes, there were a lot of times where I felt unsafe. Or taking like public transportation, the bus or the metro, sometimes, again, just like men in general would do things that's like,
no.
Yeah. And it's frustrating, especially when I tell people that, and a lot of Italians tell me like, oh, well, that's how it is, which is sad.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like you shouldn't just say like, oh, you know, that's how it is. Like, we just accept that these bad things happen. Unfortunately, sometimes it's just like that.
And in America, these things happen, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
More, maybe more in LA than Phoenix, or?
Yes. Also, like I think just the bigger cities.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, especially in LA, I never wanted to take public transport because I heard like horror stories.
Oh, wow.
and worse, like, you know, people like either stealing things or like hurting other people. I mean, also we have an issue with guns, but I don't know if we want to get into that, but like that's a whole other thing.
Oh my God.
There are certain parts of LA where people say like, you just don't go there. Like you just
you can
avoid.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's unsafe.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't know, can you tell us more about like the life in Phoenix? Because I know in Phoenix, I know only like the basketball team.
Okay, yeah.
Phoenix Suns, fine. Devin Booker, okay, basta. And I know that it's hot always. Like in, I don't know if you know how the degrees in
Celsius or Fahrenheit. Yeah, a little bit.
So in Phoenix, it's always like how many?
Not all. People make the mistake of thinking it's always like 45 degrees or something. That happens during the summer. Like
45 degrees in your or in our?
No. In Celsius. Yeah.
45 gradi.
Yes. Because in Fahrenheit, it's like 112, 100. It gets really, really hot.
No, 45.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You can't do anything. You seriously, like, even the pools get too hot. Like the water, you can't even go in the pool because it feels too hot. So you usually stay inside, or for example, like we have malls, you know, or you go to the movie theater because there's air conditioning.
No way. No way.
Yeah. No, it's so bad. But it's not like that all the time. In the winter, it's more comfortable. In the north of Arizona, it does snow.
Okay.
But where I live, it doesn't.
Because North Arizona is near to which state?
You have like, it's kind of in the area of like Colorado. New Mexico's on the other side. Nevada, like, so the elevation when you go north goes up like a lot. So it does snow and people will go up there to like ski or snowboard. But where I am, more in the valley, it's pretty much
the valley. The valley.
Yeah, well, we call it in Arizona. Yeah, we call it the valley. If you live in the valley, it's
okay. Like, no, because that is also related to the team, the valley, that they had like the jersey with the valley on it.
Okay.
Wow. So it's 45 degrees. No, it's troppo.
Yeah, in the summer, it's that's another reason I wanted to leave, because you really, in the summer, you like can't do anything. You're just home all day. Or like, for example, my dad and we love hiking, but you have to go at like 5 o'clock in the morning if you want to hike before it gets too hot. So if you want to be outside, you have to go super early in the day, like wake up super early to enjoy the outdoors. And the rest of the day you're inside. Wow.
And so your experience with the cold in Italy, how was it?
Oh my God. When it started snowing here, I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Is this real life?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. What is this? Yeah, I wasn't prepared. Like, I didn't own the clothes for snow or like the shoes. I was not prepared.
Che strano. I've
never had seasons.
Diverso, eh?
Yeah, like I've never had a Christmas that was like where there was snow. Christmas for me in the desert was like, we didn't have snow.
T-shirt,
yeah,
shorts. So Dio. Che strano.
Yeah.
Bello però. No, different. And would you recommend Phoenix to go and visit Phoenix to someone else?
Yeah, to visit, yes. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful places in Arizona in general. Arizona is a very beautiful state. Like, we have a lot of really nice parks.
Sorry, tell me another famous city in Arizona.
I mean, I lived in Scottsdale. Okay,
Scottsdale, okay.
There's also, I mean, because for example, Scottsdale is where there's like a huge, really popular golf tournament.
Okay.
Golf is very popular in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah, I always say that Arizona is just like really hot weather, old people, and golf courses. Because
really?
Because a lot of older people come because it's warm in the winter.
Okay.
And so they have like these nice houses on the golf courses. So that's what I say. I'm like, it's just
it's
for
a
golf
lifestyle.
Yeah, but I think it is fun to visit, and I would say a lot more people are coming because it actually is getting really built up too. Whenever I do go home, because my parents still live there, whenever I do go home to visit them, I see something new it's really becoming a lot bigger of a city.
And in terms of like our flights hours, how many hours do you take?
Usually I have to stop, make
but
layovers.
Okay, but you take the flight from Bologna or you go to Milan?
Bologna, and then usually somewhere else, either
London. Or okay.
Exactly, things like that. But I guess in total, probably to get home, 13-14 hours maybe.
Okay. It's far. Lontano. Yeah.
Invece Sud Corea, Taiwan,
sì.
Perché ci sei andata?
Okay, this maybe I'll say in English because I don't know how to
As
explain.
you prefer.
This is another lifetime, I feel like. But I used to do modeling. So I did modeling in those countries.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people... Okay, also because modeling was very different back then. Now, a lot of people become models because they're famous on Instagram.
Yeah.
So this was kind of before that all happened.
Okay.
Usually, when the traditional way of modeling is you would go to other countries to build up your portfolio, because there you get a lot of work of doing catalogs. And I mean, I would have multiple photo shoots in a day. So basically I went to Korea and I was there for 3 months, and I stayed in an apartment with other models because I had an agency there.
Wow.
And then I was building up my portfolio also in Taiwan.
Sorry, to put it in in a time frame, how many years ago?
Oh, sorry. This was 10 years ago.
Okay.
Because this was during high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other thing. I went to South Korea when I was 16.
Crazy.
By myself.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
My parents didn't come with me. So, it was...
tough.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think also a reason, it really opened up this idea for me that if I can do that at 16,
can do anything.
I can move here to Italy by myself too. So it gave me that independence that I feel okay, confident enough to try something like this, to live somewhere else. Because we talk about, the differences between Italy and America, but Korea was so wildly different than anything I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I'm sure of that.
Just the culture, how everything looked, the language. Everyone's did you learn a little Korean? No. I did not learn any. Yeah. It's
No.
I could not. It's just so different. Yeah.
Bello. And Taiwan also for modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the life in Taiwan, how was it?
It was interesting. It was very hard because the other models in the apartment, for example, maybe they didn't speak English really well, so communicating with them or trying to make friends was very difficult. But my life there, like I said, it was very work focused. So pretty much every day we had a van that our manager would drive us around to either castings or photo shoots. During the week, we did that. And then on the weekends, I wanted to sightsee and explore some of Taiwan and Korea. So I was able to take trains or whatever and kind of explore the city. And the food I didn't like that much, but
so basically you left school and
so I actually did Korea. I did online school, so I was able, since I was still in high school, I did online. But then Taiwan I went over a summer, so I wasn't in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bello. And was it difficult to find a place in Bologna where to stay?
Yes.
I believe because I
heard.
It's a crazy environment of affitto, super affitto.
Yes. And that was one thing that scared me because I heard that was going to be a problem. But I was like, no, for me, like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It was not fine. I first came just staying at an Airbnb for a short time to give myself time to look for like a long-term apartment. But an interesting thing is a lot of people don't want to rent to you if you are not Italian. Like that was something.
Really?
Yeah. It's very interesting. Even though I work part-time, you know, it's like I was like, I can pay.
Yeah, you have like good references. Yeah.
But it's very, even my other American friend was saying that she also has issues. Like she actually would have an Italian friend like call for her or just at least say like, you like have him help her to try to at least like see an apartment or like talk to the people who are renting the apartments. Because a lot of times they don't want to rent to you. I have no idea why, but some Italians are just like that. I guess.
Strange.
Yeah.
Strano. Discrimination.
Strano.
Oh, strano, molto strano. And like speaking about your YouTube videos, do you feel like your videos are helping like maybe your community, maybe or someone else like to learn Italian? Do you feel like you're like leaving an impact maybe on someone else's lives?
Yeah, actually, it's very cool because I get a lot of messages from people who tell me that they're going to Italy, either, you know, maybe not Bologna, but like Rome or Florence, that I inspired them to come study the language here. And it's the coolest thing because I'm like, whoa, I didn't think that I would have an impact like that. Or even just people who maybe they can't necessarily come here, but they started learning a language and they will just reach out to me and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I saw your videos and they were really inspiring and, you know, they motivate me to study or to learn a new language. Like, for example, I connected with someone on Instagram who said she came to my school in Bologna, like the same one. And we met each other and it was so crazy because she had been messaging me and I was like, I did that. Like, it's so weird to think that I could have this impact on someone, but it's just really nice when I get messages like that. It's like, whoa, I never would have thought that this would happen.
Serio?
Yeah.
Bello. And if you have any your favorite like spots in Bologna, favorite place to go?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, probably like the hills, the colli, yeah, because it's just nice to like get out of the city sometimes. Yeah. And yeah, it's also nice to be able to like see the city down below, but you're nice in nature. Because one thing that was hard for me moving here is even in LA, okay, LA is a really big city. I lived closer to the beach, so it was a little bit more relaxing. And coming here, living like in a city, you know, especially also Arizona was not like super chaotic city life. It was a little hard for me to go from somewhere that was kind of like more peaceful and a lot more nature. I had access to a beach. It was a little bit hard not having like a park or like big green spaces. So I found myself like often going to the hills or like some parks just to kind of like escape from the sounds of the city. And, you know, it could be like overwhelming at first. Yeah.
Sorry. And do you have like any like future plans for your channel? Would you like continue to follow like this task of learning Italian? Maybe you will shift to a new challenge. You start maybe making other content. What's like your plan for the near future?
Well, that is a good question.
If you have a plan.
No, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now, because right now I feel less motivated to make videos about learning Italian because I live here, and I've noticed that the videos that I make now are more about like if I travel here or just my life here. But I think I'm kind of ready to do something kind of like a new topic. Like, I think the interesting thing about my channel is that it's changed with my different interests. Like, there was a while where I was also doing like more photography videos because I was really into like portrait photography. And then, you know, I switched to language learning. So I feel like my channel kind of follows like what my interests are as I grow and change.
Like it like evolves with you.
Right.
Okay.
So now I'm kind of searching for my next thing because I do enjoy making videos of my life here, although I would say it doesn't seem like my viewers are as interested as like seeing my life here. I thought that they would be, but I guess they're more focused on like actually learning languages. But I think for now I definitely want to find something new and also to kind of renew like my motivation because I found that recently I haven't had the motivation to be making as many videos. Yeah.
So now you're like restyling mode.
Finding my like rebrand.
Yeah, no, è importante. It's important. Yeah. Wow. And so, your process of making videos is like camera, you, and then like Final Cut. I don't know what Premiere. I don't know what you use.
Yeah, Premiere. Usually, it depends what kind of video I'm making. If I'm doing a video where I'm talking about a specific subject, I write kind of like an outline, like a script. Otherwise, I probably would just be talking without any sort of direction. So I have a script, and then I shoot the video, and I edit with Premiere. And I think that's another thing is I do actually have like 3 or 4 videos that I've shot, but I'm not motivated to edit because editing takes a long time.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate how much time goes into just one video.
No, it's troppo. Troppo.
And people are like, where's the new video? I'm like, I have a life too. Like YouTube isn't my only job. So I think like it can be hard to sit down and spend all those hours editing.
I'm so sorry. You work also?
Yeah.
Where?
So there's a company in LA that I work for, but like smart working, like I work from home. So I do everything online, but it's only part-time. So it works well because in the morning I go to school and then I come back and
But you work with your Italian time or the...
I work. I don't have to be online in like American time.
Okay.
It's really flexible because I basically do like social media managing.
Okay.
So as long as I do my projects, on time, basically, like I make my own schedule.
Bello. So cashing in the dollars from living in Italy, dollars are flowing.
Life is good.
Bank account is booming, YouTube check, life is easy. Oh, bello. Sì, dai, abbiamo fatto una bella parlata. 40 minuti, quasi un'ora. Se vediamo se è un'ultima domandina. Okay, last question is, so we can say maybe that you're more like adesso come lo dico in italiano? Dico in italiano.
Ok.
Il tuo momento più bello, diciamo, del canale è stato quando questa ragazza che ti scriveva ha detto che tu l'hai ispirata di venire in Italia, è venuta nella tua scuola, l'hai incontrata, oppure ci sono anche altri momenti che ti hanno detto sì, che bello quello che sto facendo, sto lasciando un segno, eccetera, eccetera. You can respond in English, eh?
Sì, forse provo in italiano.
Come vuoi.
No, non so, per me sì, è molto bello quando ricevo i messaggi delle persone che dicono cose così. A volte ci sono anche le cose negative, non so perché, ma l'internet è così a volte.
Price of the fame.
Sì. Ma sì, per me anche è molto bello perché per imparare una nuova lingua puoi avere un'esperienza con un'altra cultura.
Sì.
E per me ho scelto di imparare una nuova lingua perché molti americani sanno solo l'inglese.
Vero, mamma mia.
E secondo me una mentalità un po' chiusa.
Sì.
Ma le persone che vogliono imparare una nuova lingua probabilmente ha anche una mentalità più aperta e vogliono incontrare nuove persone, avere esperienza all'estero o cose così. E quindi se posso fare qualcosa per rendere altre persone, like, to give them a motivation to access other cultures or other languages, if I have like this influence to do that, to me is crazy.
I made it, yeah.
But it's also, it makes me feel really good because it can be difficult to, you know, I'm making a video, but I don't know how many people are going to see this or if anybody would watch this. But the fact that I have people watching and that people can be inspired by something that I'm saying that I just made because I find it interesting and fun to make videos is really, like, it makes me feel really happy and like, wow, I really did something, even though I'm just a girl making videos like in my room or whatever, that I can reach all these other people and also have an impact on them. To do something like that is cool. Yeah.
Bello.
It's very fulfilling, I would say.
Bello. Nice words. Bello, forte. Va bene. Abbiamo fatto una bella conversazione. Grazie ancora per essere venuta. Davvero bellissimo. E saluti dall'America, da Phoenix. E ci vediamo in un prossimo episodio. Ciao.